So From Software hasn't called me yet, but when they do, I'll be ready. Today I'm designing a brand new character for Elden Ring Night Rain. A character so terrifying, tragic and lore-soaked that MIYAZAKI himself might shed a single crimson tear. We're going from scribbles to full-blown boss fighting concept with armor, lore, movesets, and maybe a few bad decisions along the way. So upgrade your pencils to +2 and let's build a legend the Lands Between didn't ask for, but probably deserve. Okay, so right off the bat, I decided the best thing to do was to just start. I wasn't playing. It was going to be me and the canvas together as one, united in a cause. Nothing was going to stop me. I was a man possessed, destined to perform my duty. My mission was simple. Except, in practicality, I quickly found out it wasn't quite as simple as I thought. You see, I had no direction, had no real goal here. Despite what you may think you already know from the creative process, I need limitations. Limitations actually end up forcing creative problem solving. The worst thing you can do to an artist is give them a blank canvas. Design is about problem solving at its core. When everything is possible, nothing feels meaningful. But this character also lives in a world that already exists. I need to make a character that feels cohesive in this world. I can't just add a character like Homer Simpson in Elden Ring, because it just doesn't fit in the medieval dark fantasy world. This would end up ruining the immersion for players. So this means I need to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and figure out a better plan of attack. So with that, I'm going to look at the pre-existing characters within Night Rain to see if there's any missing links or anything interesting that I could add to the current roster. Look at my little roster of characters that we've got on the Night Rain team. First off the bat, Wilder, mostly a strength build. Doesn't do a whole lot else. Mostly strength guy with a little bit of dex. He's almost quality, but he's got just that little bit more strength as well. And obviously we've got Raider, who is obviously full strength. That's a beefy boy. He likes beef. Anyway, Raider is an interesting character because he can also fulfill a bit of a tank role as well. He's got very good stats for shields and whatnot. So, and his secondary ability kind of helps him. He takes damage, but then he also gives it back. Little bit of a tank role going on here. And then obviously we've got Executor, Sekiro wannabe, my favorite furry and anime weeaboo favorite man, everyone's savior. He's obviously a dex build, obviously a DPS as well. Then Duchess is probably more of a DPS than Executor. She's also dexterity as well. To be honest, I feel like her character could be a little bit cooler. I mean, people saying that she's the Bloodborne of Elden Ring, but I think if you're calling this Bloodborne, I think you're doing Bloodborne a disservice. Next we got Eye, who is mainly a ranged character. Pretty cool, don't really just see bows in Elden Ring, but I like that they've made him a little more viable. He's mainly a support character. He can revive you from afar, and he can sort of tag the enemy for more damage, but he's a support, okay? He doesn't really do a whole lot else. He doesn't do insane damage. His main perk is that he can revive you from far away. Then obviously we've got Guardian, everyone's favorite Birdman. He is a tank, probably the most tank in the whole roster. Then we've got Revenant, who I would say is the more of a support than anything. I think the memes with her with giant big swords and things are kind of funny, but that's not really how you're supposed to play that character. Anyway, she has summons which can tank a lot of damage or provide a distraction. She can also heal, but she's mainly a faith spellcaster type of character. And obviously we've got Recluse. I don't know a lot about the lore, but I don't know why her skin's really dark. Anyway, she is obviously a DPS, fills the magic role in Elden Ring. Okay, judging by what's on our little graph, the DPS role is stacked with support and tank roles not getting a whole lot of attention. So with this giant gaping gap in the character roster, I, like any normal man with a gap, am going to try and fill it.
Nice.
All jokes aside, I now have a much clearer outline of the type of characters that I should and shouldn't make. So now begs the question, what type of character am I going to make? Well, what a wonderful question to ask me, the one and only person who can answer such a question to begin with. Dragon Faith tank build. The answer is Dragon Faith tank build! Yes, I had a few other options that I thought could be interesting, like a stealth character that was based off of the Black Knight Assassins, or a Mecha Knight from Armored Core, but I felt this was a concept that was interesting enough and able to fill skill gaps in the current roster. So now what's left is to start. Anyway, the first round was just a warm-up. Don't judge me on these ones, I was just waking up. I swear they get better as I go on. Second batch, I was messing around with this tribal / barbarian kind of fashion design, fooling around with some pauldron shapes and flowy clothes and fabrics. Also trying an idea where he's a prisoner of some kind, with the chains around his feet. Third batch started off trying to get better shapes with the pauldron on the side, then going back to that prisoner idea and pushing it so that there were chains burned into his arms sort of thing, and adding a few candles for dramatic effect and decoration. Fourth and final round, I was looking at a reference image of the old dragon priest from the original game, and I noticed she has these strange horns, or kind of growth-like things, and I thought I should mess around with that a little bit more. Who needs armor when your skin is made of rocks? On the last couple, I thought maybe his wings could double as armor, and have him use his wings as protection or something like that. That was a fun idea, and ultimately the last round of sketches ended up being my favourite. And so that brings us to the end of one of our 3-part series where I design a character from Elden Ring, Night Rain. But here's the cool part, I'm giving you, the audience, the choice to pick which sketch to move forward. They will be numbered on screen for you here. But also, what kind of attributes, special abilities, and even weapons do you think would suit such a character like this one? I'm thinking of a passive ability called Mineral Skin, which offers something like a 20% physical damage negation, but I don't know, I'm eager to see what you guys think. So please, comment below. Your input means a lot to me, and you get to influence the final result. Or you could tell me my art sucks, that's also fine. Anyway, happy drawing, adventurer.